All right, all right. Welcome to Fuck Your Thoughts. I'm Cammy,
Hey,
and
hey, hey, hey.
hey, Lisa,
Hi, Cammy.
how are ya?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm doing
You
good.
sound chipper.
Huh?
You sound chipper.
I just got a little rest today.
I'm good. Won't
I
rest make you feel good?
didn't do. I didn't do anything productive today. I made all kind of plans. I was gonna barbecue, do all type of stuff. I ain't do nothing.
Sometimes doing nothing is production.
It is because I needed to take a break.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Give
and I've
your
learned
mind a
that
break
it's
in your
okay.
body.
It's okay to not do stuff.
It is. Girl, doing stuff all the
Your
time
plans
is
need to
a
be canceled. Shit.
girl, right? Doing stuff all the time is a trauma response, baby.
It is. Shit.
Let your
Sometimes you just
mind
need to
do
wait till tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Or
or
I'll just
something.
adjust and make something else work. Shit.
Exactly. Cause it ain't always got to be something done. Ooh, that's the biggest lie somebody told me. It's
What you
always
said, I
something
remember
that
I
can be
used to
done.
wait tables and they'll be like, if you get time to lean, you get time to clean. I'm finna go to the bathroom.
Exactly. Cause y'all is not gonna keep playing with me. Absolutely
Man,
not.
for real. So let me read this. So Sap-Sucker Sundays, that's when we don't have like a specific topic. We just kind of have like multiple things that, or we just kind of converse, and it really would be like us just on a telephone. So our description says on tonight's episode, we will be conversing on a multitude of topics. Our conversations will include our personal opinions and thoughts based on our own perspectives. As usual, we will include a whole lot of sass, a variety of jokes, conversation completely off task. Oh, and conversations completely off task, all in our West Tennessee lingo.
Well, all right. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka,
Not
boom.
the, what was that? What was that?
I
Your
do not
intrusive
know.
thoughts.
Do what?
Your intrusive thoughts.
Exactly. My intrusive thoughts take over all the time.
Mine do
Hence,
too.
that's why we say fuck your thoughts, because nigga, your
Dang.
thoughts will take over and just be doing stuff.
What you said.
Be doing stuff
Yeah.
all the time.
All
Oh
right, you
Lord.
you got a word.
I sure do.
Okay.
I am so disappointed in. I gotta get on one rant. Y'all know I got to get on my soapbox. So
Okay.
my phone, Android has made me update my phone. They done switch
Mine
all
got
this shit
an update.
around.
So is it confusing?
Yes, it's not confused. It's just pissing me off. And I guess that's just a part of just having to move and change when we live in a world of technology. They done switch all my shit around. The apps don't look the same. They look all bubbly and cartoonish. It's like they're going further away from realistic
Reality.
stuff. Huh?
From reality.
Yes. I was like, this because you remember when we first got phones, they looked all bubbly and phonish and cartoonish, and then they started looking realistic. Now they're going back to bubbly and cartoonish looking shit.
Cause in a minute we finna be in that Roger Rabbit movie.
Exactly. And so they done changed all my little search bars, all everything. I'm pissed. So that's my rant for the day. Android,
It
kiss my
ain't no
ass.
better every time iPhone update. I can't. I just don't even care no more. I just be like, well, whatever.
Yeah. So I just had
It
to,
don't
and
matter.
now I be having to search. Usually I'm just like click on her phone. But you know what? They probably can go backwards because these kids don't know the bubbly phone stage.
Well, it don't. And then they gonna charge them $1,700 for it.
You're right. For the bubbly
They
looking
update
stage, it
your.
look like
From my
cartoon.
understanding, they update your phone when it's they finna try to slow it down and make you get a new one.
Now I will say that the updates have slowed down big time. They used to give one every month, but I guess they claim they be trying to fix bugs and improve on performance.
I think
But
they
this
just
time
be trying to have more access, but I don't even give a fuck.
they do because they when they update it said now your new AI what is
Yeah,
it?
I
AI
don't want to
companion.
talk to my AI friend on every app. I got at least two or three real friends.
Exactly. I don't always want to ask the AI. I don't ask the AI, but yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like none of it because it makes you dumb. In my opinion,
It makes
then
it
you will
dumbs it
learn
down and makes it to
something
where
else
you
to
don't have
think.
to think.
Yeah,
Hmm.
in a minute. That's like I was watching it. Okay, this is my soapbox. Like I'm looking at different how technology is dumbing down humanity because it's
It
like
is.
I was looking at this video and it was this dude was talking about how every so often they go and delete words out of the dictionary because it's not being used. So
Mm-hmm.
after so long, that's he was like, if you take that same concept and apply it to your brain, after so long, after you refrain from using, what I'm saying, like large vocabulary, then
Hmm.
you lose it. So after so long, he was like, if you take a word like integrity, and then you
Hmm.
don't use it for so long, and then when somebody bring it up, then you got to try to go back and search through. For me, I have file cabinets in my brain. I don't know how the rest of y'all shit work, but for me, I can run back and open a file cabinet and be like, okay, integrity, this is what it means. So, but if
Hmm.
you never use it, then you lose access to that file in your brain. So
Yeah.
he's saying that because people are using like chat, GTP, whatever it's called, and AI for everything that you're not using your mind. Like, even though we don't use our brain fully anyway,
Hmm.
the part that we do use, people are using less and less because AI is doing so much for everybody that really is like everything looks smarter, but people are really dumber.
Yeah. It seems convenient and it's
Yeah,
really
I don't
not.
use none of that shit. I don't even like Alexa. I don't even have that shit. Turn that shit off.
Know it.
Creepy.
Alexa, play me. Siri, call me Siri.
I ain't got none of that shit. Turn it off. I had a dude try
Mm.
to. I was trying to share a contact with him, and he wanted do the little thing where you just tap the phone together. I said I ain't mine is turned off. I ain't got that turned.
Airdrop.
Yeah. No, not
Mm.
AirDrop where you can touch the phone and then it'll send the file.
Yeah,
I
no, I don't
turned
know
mine
about
out.
that.
It came with an iPhone update, but I seen somewhere where you could turn it off. I turned mine off.
Yeah, I don't think I have this on Android.
You might do because I had it when I had a Galaxy.
uh, well,
Yeah,
if I do, I'm sure mine ain't on because I don't be using all that stuff. You just not gonna tap my phone and get my shit.
man, what you said?
Even though y'all already got it, but I ain't finna give it to
Man,
this
I
nigga
don't need
across
to
the
live in
room.
Kroger to be able to get it.
Right. Let me just tell you this number: 423-555-8713.
423-1230 731
Exactly.
area code. Call that shit.
Okay. What Mike Jones say? 334-800. I don't even know that. How do I not
Well,
know?
that number Alicia Keys called out in her song. I can't remember what it was neither.
I know it. I was like, damn, I got old.
When I sing the song, I can remember it though.
All right. But
Go ahead with
let's
your
see.
word.
So my word of the day is okay. Here go Mike Jones' phone number. It's 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones' phone alone because Mike Jones about to blow. Had to do it to him. Okay. So
Oh
the
man.
word of the day, like this word, this some shit they done made up. Cause don't so I took when I was in college, I took medical terminology, which is basically a form of Latin, breaking
Yeah.
down for you to learn the root words, the prefixes and suffixes. So with any word, you should be able to just look at the prefix and yeah, look at the prefix and it in the root word and it give you some type of idea of what the word means if you don't know what it means. So this word is panegyric. Don't
What?
nothing about this definition match the fucking word. So panegyric is a public speech or published text in praise of someone or something. So when I think of pan, I think of changing,
Yeah. Like
morphing.
pansexual.
Yes, it's wide open like Peter Pan, Pan.
Handling.
Yes, but when I saw this word, I was like, what the fuck, panegyric? How does that relate
How do
to
you spell it?
Pan?
Panegyric.
Yes, Pani, Panegyric.
Okay, I
So
had two words off, two letters off.
yeah, I don't. I was like, how does this a public speech or a public text
Girl,
in
people just
praise
be
of
making up shit.
exactly? I was like, oh, this is a made up word. It's funny you was talking about that.
Hmm.
But yeah, the prefix of pan is all or every, indicating something that affects, involves, or relates to all parts of something or all members of a group. So
Mm.
yeah, I don't know how that relates to a public speech, but I
It's
digress.
because you're speaking to all or everyone of the public or that whoever's in your crowd.
Okay, well I can see that. That made it make sense. All right.
Yeah. All right. So I'm pulling from the Empaths Empowerment deck, and I pulled release other people's emotions. It says, ask yourself, is this emotion mine? Exhale uncomfortable feelings that are not yours so they don't linger in your body. Inhale light and space. So with me working in my heart space, it's easier. Like I'm at a place where I feel like I'm a little bit more sensitive. So it's
Mhm.
very important for me to have a sense of discernment and identifying who emotions belong to who. And for me to
Mhm.
not assume that this is how somebody feels because is it really
Mhm.
am I projecting how I feel or what I think is happening because I'm assuming this is how this person is going to react because that would be my reaction.
Right. So taking control and owning your own
Yeah,
emotions and reactions and allowing people the space to have their own emotions and
right. And
reactions.
I don't have to take on how you feel or another
Mhm.
person feels. I can just acknowledge what you're saying or your actions and control my reaction and how I'm going to react to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then also too, a lot of times when you try to guess other people's reaction, that's like some trauma. I ain't even gonna say trauma, like abusive situations.
Yeah.
When you've
That's
been
you
in an
walking on
abusive
eggshells to
situation
a certain
or
extent.
where you've been having to walk on eggshells with certain people, or you haven't been comfortable enough to be yourself a lot of times, or or so you've been with somebody who's not emotionally mature enough. So you've had
Or
to read their
emotionally
feelings.
available.
Yeah. So you have to read their feelings and accommodate yours to accommodate to them, acclimate yours to theirs.
But I still think that whenever you trying to read somebody else's emotions or how they feel about something, you just assuming or you might be going off of something that they said the day before. That's like if I can go in somewhere and I might
Or it's a
express
form of control because you really want them
it is.
to
You want
react how
them
you
to
want them to
feel
react.
what makes or feel in a way that makes you comfortable. That's like say, if I go in somewhere and if I might not have an attitude, but I might not be. approachable. You know what I'm saying? I might be on a mission of trying to get done what I need to get done. And
Mm-hmm.
somebody, you know what I'm saying, they also could be in their situation, could be like, oh well, I guess she got an attitude today, or I'm just gonna say, oh well, are you tired? Because me being tired is a decent enough reason for you to say, okay, that's why she's not talking to me. So it makes you comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
even though that might not even be the reason. Like I could just be deep in thought and trying to get done what I need to get done. If I stop and talk to you, then I'm not gonna get it done.
So basically, we need to allow people to feel how they're gonna
How they
feel.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, it's a form of control.
Yeah. I want you to feel, or I'm going to give these feelings to you because this is what makes me comfortable.
Right.
And you might be totally wrong. And I kind of
Control.
just don't even give a fuck. Like a lot of times I don't be caring.
Control.
Yeah. I don't want to control nobody. I remember one time somebody said that to me. You don't want to have control over me? No, nigga.
Control yourself.
I don't even want you to try to, don't try to, because then you feel like you're going to have control over me. And you definitely ain't finna do that.
No, 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 no.
All right. Oh, so we just conversing.
We just
I'm gonna tell you
freestyling.
what I've been seeing a lot of on TikTok. I've been on TikTok today, and I
Oh,
can't even remember the like. I've jotted down little stuff that I had seen, the things that I've been talking about. But what's really been up and down my timeline a lot is that man that killed the police officer. That
oh yeah, to kill the police officer
what
because
was
they
what's his
killed his
name?
son.
Robert somebody.
Something Junior. Something Junior. Haney
Yeah,
Junior or something like that. I saw
yeah.
that.
He killed the police because they killed his son. Now,
And they tried to intimidate him at his
did you see
arraignment.
that?
Yes. And he eyeballed every last one of
Man,
them
I
like,
bowed him down, but I'm not saying he right for killing the man that didn't have anything to do with it. But shit, black people
eye
been
for
getting
an eye,
killed
tooth
by
for
the
a tooth, nigga.
police for so long, and don't nobody like everybody like people always have a justification. Well, he had this and he had this, but the same thing doesn't happen to other races of people.
Yeah. Or the thing is, police all stick by one another when something happens. So hey,
Mhm.
he said, listen, y'all did some fuck shit. I'm finna do some fuck shit. Y'all took my baby. I'm finna take one of y'all's.
Exactly.
You
I
know,
ain't
we're living in a time where motherfuckers you can't expect motherfuckers to turn the other cheek. Ain't no more
right.
turning no cheeks.
You killed my like that was his son. Like what?
Yeah. And he's probably gonna be a hero for it. Like ever
Yeah,
since that little guy, ever since that dude killed that United Healthcare CEO at the beginning of the year, was that last year, end of last year, beginning of the year,
I
folk
don't
is
know.
not with that shit no more. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? It's
because you
like,
out here fucking people up and getting away with this shit.
right, we live in a different time. We are no longer in the age of Pisces where people are supposed to look up to. It's not ranking, age of Pisces was everybody just shut up and follow the rules and looked up to whoever was in power. It ain't none of that no more. Nigga, bye.
Right. Nope.
Peace.
I don't think it is either. I don't
Like,
think it is either. I think people because we are in the age of knowing now.
yeah.
Like
And
the
motherfucker know you killed my son, that was some bullshit.
exactly.
You have no
It's a
excuse.
lot of things that are being opened up. Like I hate well, I ain't gonna, yes, that's the word I'm looking for. How much social media, how the lack of gatekeeping on our culture is done, but it's also l- giving us the ability to communicate, to show other people that look at how every time we do some shit, it's taken or it's stolen. That's like my daughter sent me a video where it was like old white people doing a trail ride
Yeah.
where them fans at in the mall. Like this is not your stuff. Like
Well, I think so. I used to feel that way, but I feel like like we said, we're in the age of Aquarius, so everything is open. So this
yeah,
is how I'm looking at it now. We are the oldest people here on this planet. We have
But
seen
it's still
things.
annoying because you will say,
Yeah, they take it and monetize it, and they don't give us
yeah,
the credit.
or
But at the
they'll
end of
say
the
it's
day,
ghetto when we doing it, but then turn around and do it too.
well, I think, and to be honest, I think people are getting away from calling the ghetto. Them motherfuckers
Because
love and
they
like.
want to do it too. That's what I'm saying. But it's
Exactly. So at the end of the
yeah,
day, we're
I
at
still don't.
everything is
I don't think
all
it's
seeing and
okay.
everything is transparent.
Yeah,
Sometimes it used to bother me, but now I don't because it's like we're the creators. We are the progenitors. And when you know who you are and you're okay with that and have that
yeah.
power, you take your power back. Fuck them if they do it because
Well, I'm
y'all come
not
from us.
saying like
You
I'm
come from
like,
me, bro.
It's just huh?
They come from me. I'm motherfucking the Eve of
And
this
I
shit.
get it, but for me, where I on a day to day interaction type shit, when you see, like I had somebody say, well, I was having a conversation with somebody, and they was like, well, when you see how they shoot and kill each other, like if that's the same mindset that you have, why are you interacting and doing the activities that you see us do?
What you
That's
mean
where,
when they say shoot and kill?
like, I was having a conversation with a lady, and I was talking about what happened at an event, and she was like, well, I don't understand why they allow these things to happen when they know when they get together they just be shooting and fighting all the time. And I was just like, well,
They shoot and fight too, though.
exactly, but it's not presented in the same manner that ours is. Like, you never hear, like, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
say
it's
you never
not,
hear.
but
So
yeah, you
that's
don't
my
hear about it.
issue is, don't talk about how bad some shit is and then turn around and do it and now it's okay.
Yeah, but I
That's
think, like I
my
said, I
other than,
think we're
but I
getting to a
know,
point.
yeah, like I'm not gonna be like I'm not stressing out of. Like I really don't give a fuck because people gonna do what they want to do. But that's just something that I have like I've been noticed it, but it's just way more prevalent. And then
Mm,
just depends on who you're interacting with. You know what I'm saying, on a consistent basis where you can see
yeah,
things in a different manner versus
yeah.
yeah.
I just feel like we are in a space where everything is transparent.
It's
Like it's
it's
going to be hard for us to hide what we do and how we do
I
stuff.
mean,
You know what
it's
I'm
not
saying?
hard
Because we
for us to
are.
have if we don't put that shit everywhere all over the fucking internet.
Well, but I think it in this aspect, I think it's good because it's bringing us together and we're finding out and we're being okay with who we are as well. It's empowering us, in
I
my
agree with
opinion.
that. No, I
It's
agree.
empowering
It
us
is.
and we're seeing each other in a better light than we have. So you're gonna have some bad parts and some losses. You're gonna
Yeah.
take some losses. Yeah, they're gonna find out your stuff. But ultimately it's making us sit back and realize like we really the shit.
We
Like, cause
really
a lot
been
of us
doing
really
this
didn't
shit.
know that.
Yeah.
We have never
But
given ourselves that credit.
I don't understand how you don't know. Well, yes, I do.
Well, it's
I
easy
take
because
that
when
back.
you've
I
been
take that whole statement back. Yes, I do.
exactly. We've been
But
in an
no,
era where
it just
people have been
irritates me.
spoon
It just
feeding us bullshit. So when all
yeah.
you see is negative thoughts about you, negative stuff about you for years and years and years, you take that on. But we are opening up and we're contacting and being seeing one another in positive lights.
Yeah.
So it's changing our perspective. So that's why I say I don't even care because we know that's what they've always done. Now it's just more prevalent
But
and we
I
can
just
actually
feel like
see it in real time.
well, when I say that, like I'm not. I mean, like I just have a problem with thievery. I don't like. To me, that's stealing. Like, and then you take it and you monetize off of it.
Right.
You don't want to give the money and then be like, well, it's okay if we do it. It's okay if we do it, but y'all been doing that shit and don't want to get no credit.
Right. Well, I think that's changing. I like I said, I think like I said, I feel like
I see
we are
people acknowledging it, so I'm not saying that it's not
I
changing.
think we're waking
I
up
just
as a
think
people.
it's just it just irritates the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I feel you. It used to me, and like I ain't even gonna lie. Last week or a couple weeks, like I've just really, I don't know. I just been looking at it like, okay, like I guess
But
I'm
I
really
don't let it.
realizing.
I'm not letting it make me like lose like sleep or no shit like that. It's just
Yeah,
when I see it, I just be like, this
yeah. It's
dumb, and
just like it's annoying.
it's
Like, goddamn,
annoying.
y'all
Yeah,
can't.
like goddamn. Do y'all have any originality? Can you come up with your own shit?
But we know that they don't have no
But it's
originality.
still. But at what point? I just want them to say we don't have none. Some people, some of them do, And I
Yeah,
wish
most of
that
them, they all
everybody,
know it. They just
that
don't
shit
admit
is
it.
just
But we're the
it just
progenitors of
irritates me. I
everything in
just
this
hate.
motherfucker.
I just can't stand stupidity and non
Yeah.
creativity. Like, come up with your own shit.
Well, when you're not a progenitor, you can't. You got to
Well,
come up with other people. You got to do
I
what
get
other
it,
folks
but
do.
I just don't. That I
You
understand.
don't
I
have
just
that
don't like.
progenitor gene in you. You ain't got it in you. They crafty. They know how to make some stuff look good. But shit, you just if you got the juice, you got the juice. God damn it.
It just irritates me because at what point do you just stop?
I got the juice. I tell you what, I have so I took my oldest daughter to the doctor last week. Oh my gosh. And today I'm getting on black people.
Mhm.
Black doctors and black people in healthcare specifically
Mhm.
because I took her to a black pediatrician because she used to go there when she was younger years ago. So I was like, let me take her back. So we gets there. Mind you, I just got her shots updated about a month ago so she can apply for something. She need to have her shots updated. So we get there. They separate me and her. They take her to the back and tell her to pee in a cup. And then after she pees in the cup, they send her to the room. And I was like, Londa, where you at? The lady sent me in a side. The doctor
Because
sent.
they have it to where now when they are 14 or have a period, the parent does not have to be in the room with
So I
them.
get that, but you need to give that
I'm just
option.
telling you that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So they strip
I
her
go in
down.
with mine. You ain't finna be sep no.
So they stripped her down. I said, London, where are you at? And she's like, they got me in here in this room. This is so creepy. Mind you, this her first time in years coming to doctor being a woman. So I was like, well, let me talk to these people. So I was like, well, my daughter is in the room. She's uncomfortable. Can I please go in? So she was like, well, what's she uncomfortable? I said, I don't know. I haven't been in here, so I would like to go. So mind you, okay, I say this to
They
say
shouldn't
a
even
lot of
have
times
asked you why.
I say this to say a lot of black doctors are very condescending when it comes to dealing with black patients. Point
Because
blank,
they try to
period.
talk to you like you dumb.
Yes, like you don't know anything. So we gets in there. It's an older lady. She's got to be in her 60s. And she's probably a good doctor. I don't know. She used to be one when we came there first. But she gets to talking to London like, what are you uncomfortable about? And could you smile for me? And London was looking
Because
like,
they take it as it's an ego trip.
right. So you're an old ass lady. Mind you, we just here for a regular checkup. We don't need all the extra sidebar. And so she's talking to London, and London is a stoic person. Like London, or she's not even stoic. She's just not no smiley,
It's
put
just
on
a
no fronts.
one.
Right. She is okay with herself and she's not gonna just be shoo-shooing. Like if she wanna talk, she talks, she wanna smash, she wanna smile. And the doctor was like, kept asking her, can I get a smile from you? Can I get a smile? And London was looking like, what is the point? So I redirected the conversation. I was like, well, she's a student, da 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 da, and this da 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 da. So then the lady gets to, well, we pulled her shot records. She needs a Gardasil and a meningitis. And I said, well, we just came from the health department and we've already discussed all that with the health department because ultimately the health department is the ones who really do all the shots and all that stuff. And she's like, well, I would just really recommend this Gardasil shot because it's important. It prevents against all of this HPV, and HPV is the leading cause of cervical cancer. And I said, well, you know what? I'll give her that choice when she becomes sexually active. That's not my decision. Well, she said, well, it's preventative, and I would really, really, really advise for it, mom. And she just kept talking to me like I was a dummy. And I just told that lady, I said, look, we don't want that. And then like I said, I'm just saying all of this to say, whenever you go to a doctor, no matter who it is, do your homework. Don't just go
And
in the
don't let
doctor.
them people and convince you to take some shit you don't want to take.
Exactly. You know what
They're
your
gonna keep
symptoms.
asking because they did me like that with mine. So you sure you don't want to get her to? Are you sure, man? If you ask me this one more time, I'll kick all this shit over.
Exactly. And then and I'm just saying it to say like you see it now. Everybody's like, black people go to the doctor, get you a good black doctor. Black doctors care about you. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're pushing medicine.
They
I
push
told the
me
lady,
because that's what you're taught. Doctors are trained to push me. Like I've even had people to say, people in the medical industry say that doctors are taught to push prescriptions and meds
yeah,
because
they get a kickback.
they give you
They
money.
get kickback.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I was like, well, she was like, I was like, well, she has a shellfish allergy, but it's minor. Her throat itches. We give her Benadryl. It's good. Why this lady sending in a prescription for an EpiPen? I said, ma'am, we don't need an EpiPen. Well, you don't want to be out, ma'am. She been having this shit since she was 4. She's 16. She been having it 12 years.
And
We
she
good.
don't have to eat that shit.
Exactly. So it's just like, even though she's a black doctor and they're trying to get more black people in, and I'm not saying don't go to the doctor, but make sure whoever you go to, if you have symptoms, do your homework first. Don't
Right.
go in there not knowing nothing.
Because
And
of
I
what
know
I'm
they
gonna
be like,
tell you
what
what I have noticed is with a lot of them is when you go in and you talking to them, like
they don't know shit.
they don't. First of all, get off of Google as a doctor. Secondly, if you like it before they even suggest like lifestyle changes or what are you doing to make this not a problem. Like, say if I went into the doctor and they told me I had high blood pressure, they're gonna prescribe a pill before they
Mhm.
tell me, well, let's come back in 2 months and see.
Right.
I'm gonna suggest for you
Or
to change. Don't eat this. Don't do this.
right.
Implement some exercise. I'm just gonna give you this pill. Like I don't that part I don't understand the rest of that shit. That's like I remember when I first started being vegan and I went to the doctor and she was like, well, I think you should eat you should implement some yogurt in there. And I'm just telling her and I'm like, okay, well, you're not respecting my wishes. Like if I'm telling you that I'm vegan, I'm not going to eat animal products
Mhm.
that is an animal product. She was like, well, you need to get your this. And I was like, well, I've done my research and I know what nuts and what I need to eat to get whatever you trying to get me to get. I think it was like B12, whatever, trying to get me to
Mhm.
get so that I won't, you know what I'm saying, feel the way that I feel. You know what I'm saying? So like she wasn't respecting what I was saying. You was just trying to convince me what you thought I should do. But if I'm telling you I don't want to partake in that, you cannot force me because you're the doctor to do shit that I don't want to do. Especially if this is my life. That'll be like me going in and say, this is my religion and I don't want to do this, and then you're not respecting it.
Right. I learned that in nutrition when I got my master's to always, whenever you're working with somebody, find out what their culture is and find out what their culture norms are before
Right.
you even
The
try
best
to
way to
talk
do
to
it is
them
to
or
ask.
before you try to even cross that barrier because everybody's culture is different. Please be respectful of that. And what I'm saying is a lot of these doctors, black ones especially, are not. My
They not because
OBGYN,
they
same
automatically
situation.
assume that everybody goes is a Christian or
Or
whatever.
no, they just assume that black people are dumb, even though they're black, because they are doctors and have degrees, and you know how black people are with degrees. They
Yeah.
assume that they're better than everybody else because you took the time out to go to
But
college,
then
X,
they
Y, Z,
don't, but you
whatever.
never know who you like. That's say you never know. Like because my child might have this type of insurance, that doesn't mean that I'm
Well, my kids was
like,
winning there with private insurance. They ain't even got 10 care.
yeah.
So that ain't even that wasn't even her issue.
But in
She thought that she
my
was smarter.
experience, that's what I have experienced.
No, my kids when they were private insurance, they no longer have 10 care. She just felt like because she was older and a black lady and had a degree because she's a doctor that she knows better. That was her whole premise.
I trip
We
out
gotta go to the doctor.
when you see people that's in the medical field or like I'm not gonna respect what you saying if you unhealthy.
Exactly. And that's exactly what
Or
London
if
said
you
because
come
she
in the
tried to
room and
tell.
you smell like cigarettes, why would I listen to shit you saying?
But that's most people in healthcare. Like London, she tried to tell London, like, well, your BMI, her BMI is a little, is in the such and such percentile for age, and da 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 da.
She
And
tried to
London was
call
like,
her fat.
basically, or telling her that she needs to lose some weight. And I'm sitting here looking at you, ma'am. You look like a upside down. No, you look like an ice cream cone,
A
an
melted.
apple with legs.
That shit
Your
blows me. How you
You
can't?
open,
I can't. I'm
she
just
opened
not.
her mouth and her tongue had
It was
white and
like
green on it. Green in the back, like fuzz, because that means you are full of yeast
yeast.
and sugar.
Uh huh.
But you trying to tell my child that her BMI is too high. If you don't get out my dang face,
Right. You gotta lead by example.
well, we
Or at
don't. We
least
live
try to a little bit, especially when you in this field and you're critiquing somebody else and telling them how to live. That's like if I'm going to get my hair done, I don't like say if I go back and put my locks back in and I go, I don't want somebody if I'm going to get my hair done and I'm looking at they locks and them shits hanging on by a string, you know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? Like I don't want because what's wrong with your head?
Or you just ain't living the life that you. I'm really finna be looking at you side. I can understand. I have a good doctor. I have a man doctor. He's he's Middle Eastern. He is really good. When I come in there, he's not even a doctor. He's a nurse practitioner. He was like, "Ain't nothing wrong with you. Bye." What do you want today, Miss Black? What do you want today, Nafisa? I was like, I think I got a sinus infection, sir. I need some antibiotics. He just wrote me some antibiotics. And he just like, you're healthy. Nothing's wrong with you. He does my blood work every year, and I'm good.
Yeah.
He not
I
trying
think
to push no medicine. If
I think long as you keep your blood like your levels and your blood work up to date, all the other shit
yeah, it's obsolete.
going
And if he
and you be panicking because then you sit down and you watch the commercial. Like it's just a problem for me is when you watch if I sit and I watch TV and the commercials is pharmaceutical commercials. Then it means talk to your doctor so I can go into the doctor and suggest I want to try this drug because I seen it on the commercial. I don't feel like that should ever be the case.
well, I know you said that when you was watching Tubi, they were showing a whole bunch of commercials like you said they were showing medicine commercials. So let me
Yes,
tell you, I don't know what you were watching, but I watched Tubi on Friday. Me and Nola watched Tubi Thursday night and Friday morning, and we were watching a lot of movies from the 80s, like the white rich kid flicks, the white rom-coms from the late 80s. And they were not showing those type of commercials.
for real.
Yes. They were showing commercial like just regular
Well, I
commercials.
was
They
watching like the show. I watched this show called it was on the Black Cinema. So, and I think it's based on what you watch is what
yes, what
that
they're
shit
feeding you.
wild, boy. And it's like
Yeah,
why are
cuz
y'all trying to experiment? And I think that's where a lot of my like how I feel about a lot of shit is because I'm seeing how as a people we get experimented on and then we just keep going back and keep going back and keep like at what point do we learn stop doing this shit?
well, our grandparents, I know my grandmama and my aunts, my one of my aunts, she's in her state, she's older. They didn't trust doctors. They didn't go to no doctors.
No, but
And I'm not saying
for
don't
good
go to no
reason.
doctor.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't go neither. Please, like go and take care. You know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do. But every time you cough, that like sometimes your body needs to go through and do what it needs to do. But for me, what I have learned when I was doing like my research and reading, like you got your degree is in nutrition. Mine is in biology and chemistry. So I did a lot of studying on herbal antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
So what I learned is most man-made antibiotics or pharmaceuticals in general is a derivative from an herb.
Yeah,
But
just chemicalized.
yeah, so you're not even receiving the entire herb. So when you don't receive the entire herb, that's where all the side effects come from because you're
Or what
only
happens is
and
I
it's not
know I
even in and out.
what happens too, like I know for like lisinopril and a lot of those statins, but lisinopril especially, lisinopril and any blood pressure medicine, whenever you go in and you have high blood pressure, do not instantly ask for high blood pressure medicine. Do not let them put you on high blood pressure medicine. See if there's something that you can do to bring it down because sometimes you have anomalies. Sometimes if you have a stressful time in life, your blood pressure gonna be a little high. It's
Yes.
just natural.
You
When
just
you
if
go
you walk
in,
in the doctor office and you just checked your email and they sent and it's the first of the month and you know you got 900 bills to pay, your
exactly, you're gonna
blood
be
pressure is
stressed.
gonna be high. You
Exactly. And
just
I'm not
get out
saying
the
that,
phone arguing with your baby daddy and you go in there and they check your blood pressure, it's gonna be high.
and I'm not saying that you don't take blood pressure. Sometimes people need it, but just know whenever you take a medicine that they give you, your body is going to be acclimated. Your homeostasis is going to be set to that medicine.
It is.
So
You're gonna and
when
you're
you don't
going
take
to
that medicine, if your body is dependent on that blood pressure medicine, when you stop taking it, your body is going to skyrocket. Is your blood pressure is going to
be
skyrocket? It's going to be harder for your body to find its natural
it's
level
gonna
of
be harder for
homeostasis.
your body. And then most of the charts and shit is set to a European man.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said blood pressure was set to in the during World War II.
Blood pressure, cholesterol, all that shit.
And then a lot of people don't know that you need blood pressure. No, you need cholesterol in order to synthesize your hormones. So if
Exactly.
you go in and your blood and your cholesterol is extremely high, that means that your body is having an issue with producing hormones. So you need to start eating your good omega 3s,
Hmm.
your olive oils, your olives, your walnuts. You need to get your omega 3 levels to a good your good cholesterol to a good level because your body is struggling with hormones. But what they do is when people go in with
They
high
put you on hormones,
cholesterol,
shit.
they put you on a statin drug. They put you on a statin drug which lowers your cholesterol and then it fucks up your hormones completely.
So I just be want people to be smarter. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor, but people be like, "Well, the doctor said this," or I've talked to people and y'all, and it's like at the end of the day, doctors are scientists, and scientists perform what's called the scientific method, which means I'm going to identify what a problem is, and then I'm going to make a hypothesis, which is an educated guess on how to solve that shit, and then we're going to experiment, which means I'm going to give you this or I'm going to give you that till until we figure out what works best. But your body and your hormones and your levels are gonna be so throwed off because you done took all this shit. That how do you know what's really working?
Right. Because like I said, it's all about
So
taking medicines and
just,
keeping you in the hospital, in the doctor's office.
yes,
But just do your research. I'm just saying, I'll just say, whenever y'all go to the doctor, if y'all got ailments, try to do, and don't let nobody discourage you talking about, don't be listening to Google. Google is send you, no. Sometimes Google will send you down a rabbit hole,
it
but
will.
it also
Sometimes you need
will
to
help
go
you.
down that damn rabbit hole.
And sometimes you need to have some type of level of some type of understanding of what may possibly be going on. And I advocate for you to go with have some family. If you got some family, have your family come with you to the doctor's office and ask questions too.
Mm. If you it Yeah, I'm gonna let that go.
I mean, yeah, if you need somebody to advocate for you. Yeah, I know all family, if you got a level headed family person, just ask them to come with you. You know what I'm saying? Because
It needs to be
especially if you
somebody
don't
that has a
understand.
thought process like yours though.
Yeah, and especially
Like
if you don't understand or if you
if you're not big on meds, and then don't take the person that take meds for everything.
yeah. Or you can take them, but just know something.
I
Like
don't.
don't just go in there. Don't allow anybody to convince you to do something that you don't feel comfortable doing. That's what it boils down to.
But if it's the person, if y'all have two completely different viewpoints on,
Well, sometimes you need somebody with a different viewpoint. But
I
I
don't
get what you're
not
saying.
yeah, not in that case.
I get what you're saying as far as, but you is the yeah,
Right.
your situation was different too, a little bit. But if you don't know anything, find somebody that you trust or ask questions. Older people, if you got children, ask your children to look up. Ask your grandchildren to look at some stuff. You know, don't go in that motherfucker empty handed because baby, they gonna
But
see
even
you.
when you just sitting there, you got a computer in your hand.
Exactly.
Google that shit.
Read, look up. Don't be letting nobody send you out. It is raining here. Y'all, I feel like I'm in Seattle. Sleepless in Seattle. Hmm.
What?
Feel like I'm sleepless in Seattle.
I said the same. We said the same thing at the same time. What they
What
used to say,
sleepless?
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Right. Knock on wood, nigga. No, we
Right.
say jinx knock on wood. The kids not say jinx you owe me a Coca-Cola.
We used to say Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Motherfucker
Y'all did.
don't nobody, yeah. Don't nobody need to drink Coca-Cola ever now. Shit.
Yeah, we ain't that. We used to say jinx, knock on wood. I ain't never heard coke till I heard my kids say it.
Hmm.
I ain't never heard nobody say give me a coke till I heard my kids say it.
Nah, I did. We used to say that when I was little. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. My mom used to say that to us all the time we was little. So
Mm.
what you think about that? I'm so over it. I can't wait for it to end. But like they finna wear their damn fans and shit in the trail
I'm
ride.
over.
Girl, they
I'm
is
over.
finna
The
wear
trail
that
ride's probably
shit
fun.
out this summer. It's probably fun, but I don't know. People just take shit and it's just I
That's
just the
because it's the
way people
internet. Everything is
do
on the
shit
internet, and they play it back to back to back to back to back. They don't let shit rest.
at all.
If you fuck around and go down on the wrong algorithm, you gonna get inundated with that shit, and you gonna be over it.
I'm over it. I
Yeah,
probably
I'm over.
I need to get off of. I would just take a break from my phone this week, probably.
Yeah, I'm over that where the fans at song. I feel
And
like that
that
song was
white
out last
girl or
summer.
whatever, the one that was claiming she was mixed, and kind of find out the one she was saying was her daddy. He was actually her stepdaddy, so she really not mixed. I was like, bruh.
What that's on social media?
Yes, the whatever her name was, they was she had requested them to pay her $6,000 to come and be to you know how they have people on the flyers for parties and shit, like special
Oh
guest
yeah,
host, the host and shit. She was
yeah.
asking for them to pay her $6,000.
Oh Lord.
But she ain't even the one that created the dance. And that's where my irritation has come from. Like that's why I was irritated to the extent that I was like earlier when we was talking about that, because she didn't create the dance, but she like people hyped her up because she's a white girl doing a dance, and then
Oh,
she had them like she wanted them to pay her $6,000 to come be a host at the thing in Mississippi.
and cause she was doing the dance.
She was doing a dance, and then somebody it was a video floating around of her doing like she could do it, but she
Hmm.
wasn't the one that made it, and then she didn't never give credit to the girl that created the dance. And now you out
Hmm.
here requesting people to pay you $6,000 to come and be a host at they functions. That shit, I was like, I cut this shit off. You stupid. So that's what I was just like, you know what? I'm over that shit with the stealing shit.
Well, hell, how's it stealing if they promote her to come out? They the dumbest too. Sound like.
I'm saying because it's stealing because you're not the creator of the dance and you didn't give credit.
Hmm.
So that's the stealing part now. Now her getting her money and hustling and getting what she could get out of that situation. I'm not mad at her for that.
Hmm.
Just get your money. You know what I'm saying? Shit, do what you gotta do or whatever, but give credit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Hmm.
That shit just irritated me to
Give
the
credit where credit is due.
yeah, like if you know you this is not some shit that you made up, then like cause it was like a video of her, she was talking about can't nobody fuck with me with this. Can't nobody
I
fuck with
ain't
me.
never seen none of that. What's that on TikTok?
Girl, it's on everywhere.
I ain't been on. I've been on Instagram a little bit. I've been on TikTok, girl. TikTok be sending me down. I be having to go to sleep on TikTok.
I have to get off of my Facebook be so negative. I have to get off of this shit. Like god
I
damn.
don't even be on Facebook. I get on
I
Facebook for
don't be
like
on
5 minutes.
Facebook like that neither. If I post something, then I'll look at it or whatever. But like I just
I feel like Facebook be lying.
it be too local for me. I
Facebook
feel
to me
like
is like fake news.
to
Fake
me,
news, false
Facebook is
media.
where everybody goes and it's like, dear journal, today I did this. Like, god damn. But then,
Like on Moesha.
yes, but you
Do,
typing this shit. But
do,
TikTok be the same way
do.
because people get on there and talk and say all
Yeah.
their business.
But
Like,
I like TikTok because TikTok is a little more. Now, sometimes when you go down tangent and people just be on there because they can get on there and talk about shit, I be like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Why are you on here? And
I
story
be
time and all
blocking
that
people.
shit. I don't be wanting to hear no story time and you talking about somebody else's TikTok. Just move on.
Yeah, no,
Move around.
I don't be wanting to hear that shit either. Then I
But
went
I
down
do.
the damn Blue Ivy rabbit hole,
Oh
but
Lord.
that shit was crazy. I think she's. All thing I'm gonna say on that is her dancing has gotten better, and she is. I think she's a pretty little girl.
I think I like it. I like the idea because that's
I
her
like
mama.
what her mama is doing with her.
Yeah, that's her mama. Who was it? So my thing is, like, I really ain't into the celebrityism
I'm not
because
neither.
I could fuck celebrities. They're in a whole different group. Is
On
when
a
you get to
right,
celebrity status, it's not about black and white anymore. It's about greenbacks. They
exactly.
play on people that ain't rich feelings and emotions.
And
Like this
people
whole
be
thing.
mad, ready to fight over that shit. I just be like, well, Lord, that's
Right. These
crazy.
folks be
Cause
all in the
everywhere
same
go, they
rooms
gonna get
together.
paid, and you ain't finna get shit out of it. But I
And
think
you gonna
it's
be the
very,
one paying they damn bills because you
but
the
you,
one paying to
but
go
how
see
much
them.
does them tickets be? Shit,
Exactly.
I'm not
But
finna pay
like
that
with
much to go
her,
see no fucking. I'm not finna pay, man. Hell nah. But I like what
exactly.
she's doing, how she's introducing her daughter and making sure that she knows what to do, and then she's gradually bringing her other one in. I do like that. Like I want
Yeah,
you to
because why wouldn't you? That's your child. Just like
exactly. That's
I
where I'm
like the
at.
idea
I
of
like it
Deion
too.
Sanders and Shadur Sanders. People
I do
people
too.
upset, but
And
with
LeBron
him,
James and his son.
yeah,
All that. Because you,
like
why would you not?
because you want why not give your children that opportunity if you
People
have that
be want
opportunity?
motherfuckers to struggle.
Or motherfuckers just be haters. It ain't even about struggle. Motherfuckers be haters. If I
It
had the
will be about
platform and I
struggle.
could give
If
it to
I
my
gotta,
children, I
if
would
I
give it to
tell
them.
them why, if my parents didn't put me in a position to where they could just hand me some shit like that, then it's hating. But it's hating because they didn't have to struggle the same way that that person who's doing the hating had to struggle. Somebody is silver spooning them basically. But if I'm rich, why the fuck would I want my child to struggle?
Right. People but the thing is, white people do this shit all the time.
That's what I'm saying. That,
But that's just my soapbox for it all as far as black people. Like y'all quit making a to do about these fuckers. These people are rich,
it
first
be
of all.
awesome. Yeah, I 100%
Like
agree with that shit. Them
like they rich. They're on a whole nother platform. They all rubbing shoulders, just like people was all upset about Shadur Sanders. Man, the next day that man was up there with Roger Goodall, the whole NFL commissioner, shaking hands, talking shit.
Good.
Y'all all
It didn't matter.
distraught.
Y'all all in y'all feelings. Them niggas don't give a fuck about y'all.
Right. Because if he did get drafted or not, he's still gonna be straight. Y'all still gonna
Exactly.
have to go to y'all 9 to 5 every fucking day. And that's that. But that's what I'm saying. The world we live in, they have made everybody so caught up on black
What
folk need to do
somebody
this
else
and black folk
doing.
do. Yeah, like fuck them people,
Yeah.
man. I gotta
We
work
go
and pay
ahead
my
and get
bills
you
and take
some
care of
money.
my
But at
kids.
the end of the day, whether
The
dude
day
gets
is gonna
signed
end.
for the whether he got drafted or not, you still have to get up and go to work.
Exactly. At the end of the day is gonna
This
end.
this this kind of like this conversation that we having just based on like celebrities and then just like regular people kind of put me in the mindset of that TV show Chaos.
It's exactly what it
And
is.
how those guys and shit was just living life like this shit. It doesn't fucking matter like how Medusa, that motherfucker was so over everything. That shit was funny to me. Her
Mhm.
and then the one damn, what's his name? The one that was over the underwear, his wife. It was like they were so nonchalant about everything, nothing mattered. But and that's I feel like that's the how like celebrities or people who have exceptionally amounts of money, like it doesn't matter because I'm rich. Like I don't have the same struggles that you have, so I could care less. But people get so hello. Uh, what happened?
Thing keep me all the way out.
Girl, hello.
Did it
You
end?
back? No, it's not ended.
Girl, that thing kicked me off.
I guess they didn't want us to talk about that.
Well, we can't talk about celebrities. Put that on the CIA checklist. All right, CIA. We ain't gonna talk about y'all people.
Listen, okay. That's funny as hell.
It is
I'm gonna tell you
hilarious.
one more thing I do want to talk about is like the last little video I put in our group chat. where that boy was making his son dance to that Drew Hill song because he had got in trouble. And he was telling him he need to learn how to control his emotions. I just want to talk about it, the change in parenting throughout like generations, like how my grandparents parented, it was different than how
Mhm.
my parents parent versus how I parent. Like I think we are more understanding of emotions and feelings.
Mhm.
And our parents and their parents kind of was like, you don't need, like, it don't matter, just do what I say type shit.
Yeah, you're a child. You are to be seen, not heard.
Yeah.
But
I still let
also,
my kids know you a child. But what I like when I say what I'm gonna say to them, I'm like, do you have anything to say? You got any questions, comments, concerns? Like, tell me what you think, how you feel, and we can discuss it. But it's like ultimately I'm gonna make the decision, but I still want to know like what you think and what.
like Dr. Umar said, it's a benevolent dictatorship.
Yeah,
You feel like you have a little bit of room, but really, I'm still in control. But I still love you, and I allow
I
you to do
want to know
certain
what
things.
you think. Like even like what you think is it might, what I'm saying, you move my decision, a little bit, but I still gonna make the decision until you capable of making the decisions yourself. But when it comes to certain shit, like interactions with certain people, like if they don't want to go, I'm not gonna make them.
Yeah. I feel like the reason we are more open is because it's so much. It's if you don't talk to your kids and do shit with them, they're gonna find out through the internet and other ways. You
Yeah,
have
but
to.
we did too, though, a little bit. We
We
found out
did, but a
just
lot we
conversing
found out
with
more
each
through our
other.
peers. We
Yeah,
follow our peers. My kids don't follow their peers. I don't know about other kids. My kids don't follow their fucking peers.
yeah.
They don't. They made to look at the internet and follow some shit they see on the internet. So that's why I had to tell them when I started giving them phones that you know the internet is not real,
It's
guys.
not a real place.
It's
This is
not a real place. It's not
exactly.
realistic. This is the internet. Things can be fake and people lie on the internet. So be discerning on what you pay attention to because it's not always the
It
truth.
ain't always true, and AI is real.
Exactly. So I feel like
And I don't
and
feel
because
like
I
you
feel like
gotta.
we weren't heard with our parents. My parents never heard me or paid me any attention. And that's why I spent so many years trying to validate myself through
Yeah,
men and other folks because our parents loved us and they did for us. They supported us, but it was a
I
different
think
type of
I
support.
think our parents' generation was more set on let me be able to financially
Yes.
make my household a comfortable place financially, and let me have the house and the cars and the means that their parents probably, like my grandmama and them was old as hell. They're
Right.
the ones that was really, what I'm saying, like in my life, who I was really involved in. Like my granddaddy was born in 1913, and my
Yeah.
grandma was born in 1917. So that's like what, two, maybe one and a half generation removed from being slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
So they was like, but I don't. And then the man that raised my daddy, he was born right around that same time too. He died when he was like 98, 98.
I just think our parents' generation was the first generation to have access to white people and whiteness.
White
Other generations didn't
proximity.
have that. And so when you become privy to whiteness, it gives you a different perspective and it makes you feel like, oh, I'm competing. Oh, we up here, we made
But
it.
why
Oh,
do
we
we
did this.
compete with whoever's with? And that's my thing is, now that I go back and look at it, it's like they might have been in a position of where they could compete, but in reality, you're really competing with yourself because everything that y'all was doing, they was stealing it.
Or you're competing with your peers that look like you, same color. They already have that
That's what
set
I
up.
mean by yourself.
you,
Like
you
you're
they
not
invited
competing
you to
with
their table, and
who
so
you.
when you get invited to their table, because you think about it, their parents before did not have access. They stayed in their own communities. Our parents watched the whole
They
civil
had white
rights.
proximity.
Yes, they watched the civil rights. They took part of it, and to them that was equality. That was the meaning of making it. sitting at a white person's lunch table.
Well, I don't
So when
necessarily think mine wasn't really like that. Like I just
they
like
wasn't subconsciously, but by their actions, I mean, they all got careers.
they
Their
wanted
careers
to have.
important.
I think it was more of I just want to financially put my children in a position of where they wasn't dependent on other people. In my from what
But were they dependent on other people? Were their parents dependent on other people? Who were their parents dependent on?
who my parents no. My parents
I'm
really
talking about their parents. Their parents didn't
no.
make it to where they were dependent on nobody. I don't think
No,
my
that's what I'm
grandparents
saying.
didn't.
Like,
My
but
grandparents didn't have
like
nothing.
you have, like mine didn't have. My grandparents didn't have it,
So
but my
I think that
granddaddy had
our
a good
parents
job.
wanted shit.
But
Our
I
parents
don't
wanted
think
shit.
I don't. But they wanted it to where they didn't have to be dependent on else like handouts and shit. You know, like some
But
people.
who got handouts? Our grandparents didn't get no handouts.
I'm not talking about my grandparents. I'm talking about my parents. My dad growing up, his family received like handouts and shit. So he wanted to where he didn't like when I speak on my grandparents, I speak on my mother's grandparents because I didn't know my daddy mama was dead before I was like when I died when I was like 5 months and I never knew his dad. So I only had
So
really
you saying
one
that they
set of
didn't want to have
grandparents.
to get like you mean government handouts?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't want us to be put in that situation. So their mindset to for me, my perspective was I want
Mhm.
to have myself put in a position of where I don't have to do that. I want to be financially set, stable, and sound. But
Yeah,
I have earth sign parents also.
I feel like my perspective is my parents wanted nice things.
That's the
They were the first
that's what
generation
I'm saying.
to go to college. They wanted because my
My
parents when
daddy
they
went
got
to
married,
college too. Yeah.
they moved to St. Louis. They lived in a brownstone. So all this shit people doing now, living in these brownstones
It
and
just times just repeated like shit just
they did
repeated
that.
itself.
My parents did that. They had that. So my daddy was a manager. So for them, it was having nice things,
Yeah.
the things that their parents didn't have.
That's what I'm saying as far as being financially sound, stable, and you get what you need. Like you have what you want nice shit because you didn't necessarily have that growing up. Like I know my mom and them didn't have it growing up. I know for a fact my dad and them did. But I'm saying as far as their my parents' kids, us, me and my
Mhm,
brothers and sisters, they wanted us. They put us in a position where we seen a healthy situation, well, a
mhm,
healthy relationship, as far as I know. And but from what I understand, it is. But you get what I'm saying. Like you
mhm.
see shit different from as you understand things from a different place as an adult than what you seen as a kid. Like you know shit happened, but you might not have seen it as a kid. But
Yeah.
you like they wanted us to be able to be how I want my kids to be able to take care of themselves.
Or they wanted access because you take care of yourself is to have access to certain things, right?
That falls in those
Yeah.
categories.
So you have access to the same thing that white people have, right?
But you don't have
Because
to you don't have to
black
but
people had their own communities back
that's
then
what
that they
I'm
didn't have
saying. But you
access to
want to
white
have
people's
your
stuff.
own shit, but you don't necessarily have to be in white proximity.
Mm,
But you want to be able to where you don't have to depend on them either. Because you know, at one
mhm.
point it was put like, oh well, we're gonna like this the
Technically, you still depend on their money because they control everything.
but if you in the means of making it yourself and you ain't got to go stand in no line and get no block of fucking cheese, that's different.
I mean,
The
but
where
you
you
still
getting
working,
the where you getting a
working at
check
their facilities and at their
versus
job.
I mean, but that's what how you gonna get out of that?
That's what I'm saying. So technically, I mean, we
But
all
I'm
is.
saying there's a difference between standing at the food stamp line versus I'm gonna go to work and make my own money.
Mhm.
Is what I'm saying.
So they just wanted better opportunities, is what you're saying.
Yes, it didn't, but it didn't have to be where I'm trying to compete or keep up with the Joneses, as people
Mhm.
would say, versus you just want to have a
Yeah,
good, stable home where you're stable.
yeah. Yeah, I think they wanted stable homes, but I think that our parents' generations were the first ones to have access to the same things that white people did. And some of that to
In
me
white, like that's what I
makes
mean about
them,
white proximity.
yeah, they that made them want more and want the
Yeah,
same things that they had. So that's what I'm saying, because I feel like my grandparents did not have access, but they still took care of themselves and did what they had to
yeah.
do to survive.
Mine's
The-
lived off the land a lot because, but you know, my grandparents was old. My grandparents probably could have been your grandparents' parents.
yeah, your parents, grandparents was
They was old.
yeah.
So
Because
that's
my
why.
grandma was born in 1926 or 23.
Well, maybe not. That could have been like. Well, my granddaddy probably could have been because he
Yeah.
was born in like they was old. So
Yeah. See,
I
my
didn't know
parents
like
had
I
me
didn't
when
know
they
like
were older.
huh. Well, my
My
grandparents
parents,
had two sets of children.
children, yeah. See, my daddy was 30 when I was born, and my mama was 25 or 26.
Mm,
So they was a little older. 'Cause I'm exactly 30 years younger than my daddy.
yeah,
Yeah, my daddy was almost a little old having children.
hey, that's good. Shit.
Right. I would advise, if you can wait, wait.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life first. Cause
But
having
I
children,
like what I was, but I didn't. When we was talking about the parenting, I just think we are a little bit more open.
yeah, we have to be
But
open
you
because
gotta
we
be
live in an open
open.
world where everything is accessible. Back then, shit wasn't accessible.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers wasn't reading encyclopedias, though. You did find some shit out from your parents or going, I mean, your peers, or you done went to their house and it's not like your household and you
You
done seen
couldn't
some
just
shit.
Google that shit how kids.
Right.
Yeah,
You you
that's
done,
what I'm saying. We have to be more willing to talk and listen to what our children are saying because if we don't, somebody else on the
and
internet.
my parents, they was always at work, seemed like.
Well, my mama was not. So my
Yeah,
daddy
mine.
was not, but my mama stayed at home. But my daddy also like when you were saying get their own. Like my daddy has always had his own business. It didn't even matter.
Hmm.
He might have had another job, but he always had his own
On
business.
side
Yeah.
business.
So
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
my parents, it seemed like they were always at work. They supported us and came to games and stuff and did. But now they have the autonomy and the flexibility at their older age to really do more.
Well,
But
my mama getting ready to retire.
yeah, so she will have time on her hands.
I said,
Ain't
Lord,
nothing like a motherfucker with
her
time,
house
boy.
gonna be so neat and clean and organized.
Do what?
I said her house gonna be so neat, clean, and organized.
Mm. Right, for saying nothing like a motherfucker with time. I got time today, baby. Mm.
That's what I told her. We went to we went to the sectionals for track for middle
Okay.
school. That was a nice facility. I really be wanting. Like I be going different places and I be looking at like all the amenities and shit that they have to offer in other places, and I just be like,
Like what?
it's just a big ass difference to me. Like it's like how can you keep up? How can you keep up? Like just when you go back to when we was talking about competition, like when it comes to like sports and shit, like you can't not be competitive. I'm very competitive when it comes to that. But I just
Mhm.
feel like it's not how can you keep up if you can't compare?
Or if you don't have the resources to,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So you
because
can't
that's the whole point.
but
Because
that
this
shit
now it's
that
about pay
makes
to
me
play.
mad.
It ain't
But
no
like
longer about
if
talent.
we get all of these, if you get this many schools and the it's this big, like why is everything mediocre? Unless it's like those two sports, like either basketball or football, everything else is mediocre.
Because they not putting money into other stuff other than
I know,
basketball
but that shit is
and
wild to me.
football. Yeah, because that's where people put
But
their
you could
most
draw
attention to.
money in through other shit. No, that's
You
what I
can,
don't understand. Like
but that's their biggest money grabbers. um freaking basketball and football because that's everybody
That's
is
because
into that.
that's what people care about. But
So then, so that means it needs to be more emphasis on putting publicity for other sports
and
and
that's
giving
what I
people the option.
that's the point I'm getting to is let's
But
look at other
usually,
shit.
people don't care about other sports until like the Olympics.
I just hate it. Like I ain't gonna. I'm just over a lot of shit at this point. Like it's dumb. It's shit just be dumb to me, and I just like motherfucker make a big deal of like people really be at different places and just putting forth all their effort into this. Like, but your kid might not like you. I don't know. I just can't even form the sentence right now. The shit just be so dumb. I be looking at how hard people be hollering at their kids and pushing their kids, which I ain't gonna say I ain't never did it because I have. I'm just big on if I'm putting forth effort to get you there, then you need to put forth effort to do at least do your best
Hmm.
or try your best.
But yeah, I don't know. I play
I'm not,
sports.
I'm not gonna be the one out there just like I'm a cheer and shit, but if some funny shit happen, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah,
Shit, I'm folks.
I don't know. My perspective with my kids on sports is play it and do your best, but there's other avenues other than just sports.
And not
So
okay.
I don't press the issue. That's why I don't be all excited. I don't really be talking because this is like just do this because I want you. I'm focused on building your character. Now, if you get good at it and you really, and I'm
Then
not
we gonna
saying don't go out there and
put
half ass
forth
do
some
it,
effort,
but
right?
it's building character by you being able to be a part of a team, experience losses and winning as a team.
And
So
that's
you
what I
have
be pushing. That's what I be trying to like when I watch kids and shit play, and I be like, this was a real life teachable moment on how you learn how to lose and how you learn how to be a winner, but not, like not. I'm not saying be humble because I hate when people say, "Oh, be humble." Like I
it's
hate,
just teaching you camaraderie and
but you
camaraderie.
should
You
still
lose
have
and you
good
win.
sportsmanship, though.
Yeah, you lose and you win and you
Yeah.
compete. It's
And
all
you
that's all a
cheer
part
for
of character.
somebody else if like I just don't get I don't people be so caught up in I don't feel like your main focus should be winning when you coaching third graders.
Yeah,
Like that's not that shouldn't be like of course yes you want to win, but you should want to like the whole point is to teach them the fundamentals.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not ever gonna have a third grader again, so I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I can't relate to no third graders because when my
I
kids
have
started,
because I've watched it, like my kids,
yeah,
So this I'm just speaking on shit that I've seen or places
hmm,
where I've stepped in and, been a substitute coach or whatever. That type of shit, like and a lot of times like I think ego get in the way of a lot of shit. But I gotta go pick up your mom.
okay.
So
Well, I
let me
have
read
one
this
quote.
prayer. Huh?
I have
You
a
read
quote.
your quote and I'm gonna read my prayer and then we'll be done.
Yeah. So my quote for the day is, and this is, I'm taking this to heart. I've been working on this for the past month. Stop giving folks the benefit of the doubt because there is no benefit in doubt.
Facts. Type that shit in the chat. I am root of your root, soil of your soil, bone of your bone, and blood of your blood. From the Shanklin Jones, Fuller, Meriwether, Curran, Johnson, Dodson, Morgan, Davis, McNeil Hill, and Crushfield families, we thank you for your guidance, protection, wisdom, and clarity. We understand, overstand, and understand the strength and power that's being provided to us. We accept the responsibility of the gifts passed down to us. We walk in your strength and power today and every day. Ashe.
She. Amen.
Alright. And I put in the chat. What? Okay, let's hang up.